We coordinate here with our local, state, and federal partners, but we also have access to all of the sensor data that the NYPD collects.
Sensor data meaning what?
Cameras, license plate readers, radiation sensors. So right now, what we're looking at is cameras that we have live feeds from around Jewish religious sites or cultural institutions where we've deployed extra resources today.
Allowing you to be in more places than just where you position officers.
Absolutely. Eyes in the sky.
Are Jews in New York City in danger right now?
So we don't see any nexus to New York City from the horrific attack at the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. And actually, more to the point, we have no specific credible threats related to that attack against New York City.
How do you police in a situation like that where you're not flooding a particular area with officers?
So one thing that we've done really to reassure New Yorkers is we have surged police resources around the Jewish cultural centers, religious sites, Jewish schools. And when we've surged the officers, we've done that really to serve as a deterrent, but also a reassurance. So when I say deterrent, I mean we want to harden those facilities. We have cops with big, heavy weapons out there. We have our counterterrorism officers out there. We have our mobile field forces. We've deployed extra police to institutions and sites that may be feeling like they are experiencing a heightened threat.
Somebody sees a heavy weapon, they don't necessarily think reassurance. Sometimes they feel concern. Is there a balance in having too much visibility?
You know, we have been doing these patrols really for years, and so I think New Yorkers are used to seeing it from time to time. We surge our heavy weapons teams above ground, below ground, and the feedback that we have gotten is that it makes New Yorkers feel safe when they see police officers on their corner.
So one of the things that came out of DC was that people had seen someone suspicious pacing outside the building. I wonder how officers responding to a situation like this, if they're at one of these locations we see up on the screens, they see someone suspicious, how do they react to that without getting into a situation where they're profiling people?
So I think an important thing to keep in mind, and the mayor and I tell New Yorkers this all the time, if you see something, say something. It can be anything. Reach out to us and we will respond. But our officers also, remember, get a lot of special training about suspicious activity, how you can identify it. And I think generally having police presence and then the force multiplier of the public reporting things to us is ultimately an important part of helping keep New York City safe.
You have a constitutional obligation to protect the ability of people to speak freely.
Absolutely.
That has to be offset against some of these security concerns. How can you ensure that?
I don't think so. I think if we're talking about the protests specifically, since October 7th, the NYPD unfortunately has become expert in policing protests, and we value the First Amendment right, and our cops ensure that people get to exercise their First Amendment right. Some of the rhetoric is completely vile to some of their sensibilities, but we will protect the First Amendment. But if you cross the line and it turns into a crime, we're coming for you.
If someone wants to protest near the Israeli consulate, is that possible?
You know, there are rules around where and how you can protest, and circumstances are different, but generally, yes, the NYPD has policed thousands and thousands of protests since October 7th. They have done a remarkable job, our cops, of being out there like virtually every day handling it, and they've become quite expert in it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.